जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Canto 2, Chapter 4, Text 9 and 10. यथा गुणंस्तु प्रकृते युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्ति भूरिष्ट्व एका कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः। यथा गुणंस्तु प्रकृते युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्ति भूरिश्वस्ते एका कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः। यथा गुणांस्तु प्रकृतेर् युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्ति भूरिश्वस्त्व एका कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः। गुणास्तु प्रकृतेर् युगपत् क्रमोऽपि वा बिभर्ति भूरिश्वस्त्व एका कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः। यथा गुणांस्तु प्रकृते युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्ति भूरिश्रस्त्वैक कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः यथा गुणांस्तु प्रकृते युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्ति भूरिश्रस्त्वैक कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः यथा गुणांस्तु प्रकृते युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्ति भूरिश्रस्त्वैक कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः युगपत् कर्मशोऽपि वा बिभर्ति भूरिश्रस्त्वैक कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः yatha, as they are, gunan, the modes of, tu, but, prakrite, of the material energy, yugapat, simultaneously, kramasha, gradually, api, also, va, either, bibharti, maintains, bhurisha, many forms, tu, but, ekah, the Supreme One, kurvan, acting, karmani, activities, janmabhi, by incarnations. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is one, whether He alone acts with the modes of material nature or simultaneously expands in many forms, or expands consecutively to direct the modes of nature. We'll go to text number 10 also. Vichikitsam etam me bravitu bhagavan yatha shabde brahmani nishnata parasmimscha bhavant khalu. Vichikitsam, doubtful inquiry. Etat, this, me, of me. Bravitu, just clear up. Bhagavan, powerful like the Lord. Yatha, as much as. Shabde, sound transcendental. Brahmani, Vedic literature. Nisnataha, fully realized. Parasmin, in transcendence. Cha, also. Bhavan, your good self. Khalu, as a matter of fact. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Kindly clear up these doubtful inquiries, because you are not only vastly learned in the Vedic literatures and self-realized in transcendence, but are also a great devotee of the Lord, and are therefore as good as the personality of Godhead. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Supreme Absolute Truth, Govinda, the personality of Godhead, although one without a second, is infallibly expanded by the innumerable forms non-different from one another, and although He is the original person, He is still ever young and permanently youthful energy. He is very difficult to know simply by learning the transcendental science of the Vedas, but He is very easily realized by His pure devotees. The expansions of different forms of the Lord, as from Krishna to Baldev to Sankarshan, from Sankarshan to Vasudev, and from Vasudev to Anirudh, and from Anirudh to Pradyumna, and then again to second Sankarshan, and from him to the Narayan Purusha avatars, and innumerable other forms which are compared to the constant flowing of the unaccountable waves of a river, are are all one and the same. They are like lamps of equal power which kindle from one lamp to another. That is the transcendental potency of the Lord. The Vedas say that He is so complete that even though the whole complete identity emanates from Him, He still remains the same complete whole. Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Evashyashyate. As such, there is no validity in a material conception of the Lord produced by the mental speculator. Thus, He remains always mystery for the mundane scholar. Even if he is vastly learned in the Vedic literature, Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. Therefore, the Lord is beyond the limit of conception for mundane learned scholars, philosophers, or scientists. He is easily understandable for the pure devotee because the Lord declares in the Bhagavad Gita 18.54 that after surpassing the stage of knowledge, one is able to be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Then only one knows the true nature of the Lord. One cannot have any clear conception of the Lord or His holy name, form, attributes, pastimes, etc., unless one is engaged in His transcendental loving service. The statement of the Bhagavad Gita that one must first of all surrender unto the Lord, being free from all engagement, means that one must become a pure, unconditional devotee of the Lord. Only then one can know Him by the strength of devotional service. Maharaj Parikhit admitted in the previous verse that the Lord is inconceivable even for the greatest learned scholars. Why then should he again request Sukdev Goswami to clarify the insufficient knowledge about the Lord? The reason is clear. Not only was Sukdev Goswami vastly learned in the Vedic literatures, but he was also a great self-realized soul and a powerful devotee of the Lord. A powerful devotee of the Lord is by the grace of the Lord more than the Lord Himself. The personality of Godhead Sri Ramchandra attempted to bridge the Indian Ocean to reach the island of Lanka, but Sri Hanumanji, the unalloyed devotee of the personality of Godhead, could cross the ocean simply by jumping over it. The Lord is so merciful upon His pure devotees that He presents His beloved devotee as more powerful than Himself. The Lord expressed Himself to be unable to save Durvasa Muni, although the Muni was so powerful that he could reach the Lord directly under material condition. But Durvasa Muni was saved by Maharaj Ambarish, a devotee of the Lord. Therefore, not only is a devotee of the Lord more powerful than the Lord, but also worship of the devotee is considered more effective than direct worship of the Lord. Mad Bhaktya Puja Bhyadhika. The conclusion is therefore that a serious devotee must first approach a spiritual master who not only is well versed in the Vedic literatures, but is also a great devotee with factual realization of the Lord and His different energies. Without the help of such a devotee, spiritual master, one cannot make progress in the transcendental science of the Lord. And a bona fide spiritual master like Sukdev Goswami does not speak about the Lord only in the matter of His internal potencies, but also explains how he associates with His external potencies. The Lord's pastime in the internal potencies are displayed in His activities in Vrindavan, but His external potential works are directed in His features of Karanadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Shirodakshay Vishnu. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti offers his good counsel to the interested Vaishnavas when he says that they should not be interested in hearing only about the Lord's activities like Ras Leela, but must be keenly interested in His pastimes, in His features of the Purushavtaras, in the connection with Srishti Tattva, creational functions. Following the examples of Maharaj Parikhit, the ideal disciple, and Sukdev Goswami, the ideal spiritual master. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhambitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Nama He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Stute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to purify myself and serve you all in a small way. Please bless me that I speak in parampara and whatever I speak is pleasing to the devotees. Please forgive me if I speak anything beyond my realization. So this is an extremely beautiful purport, very loaded purport by Srila Prabhupada. Actually, इसमें जो topics है Srila Prabhupada ने जो cover किया है, each topic, each paragraph can be a class by itself. So very nice and loaded. I don't need to speak anything much because Srila Prabhupada has explained very nicely everything. But we'll try to see few things from the purport, what we understand and how we apply in our day-to-day life. So we all know that Parikhit Maharaj, when he was about to die, he asked Sukdev Goswami, what is that one should hear, Srotavyam, chant and remember when one is in the last days? And Sukdev Goswami, without mincing words, straight away said that you should chant, remember and glorify, hear the Hari Katha. So I was asked to speak about this shloka, and I heard that yesterday's shloka was by Sarvabhaum Prabhu and tomorrow's shloka is also by Sarvabhaum Prabhu. So I was thinking why today I am taking, two sweet things are there. Then Abhay Govind Prabhu said, no, we like to eat Karela also. So, no, I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. So I thought I should give some bitterness also so that one can relish the sweetness of the classes that are happening, in the evening and in the morning by Sarvabhaum Prabhu. So, your Parikshit Maharaj, he wants to hear. He could have heard so many things about Lord Krishna, about his Krishna's Bal Leela, Gokul Leela, Vrindavan Leela, Dwarka Leela. There could be so many things that he could have asked for immediately. But Parikshit Maharaj specifically chose Srishti Leela, the creation. So, why did Parikshit Maharaj select this? Because it appears like from the shloka, it appears that Parikshit Maharaj already knew how is the Srishti created. Because he says that, right? He says that, kindly describe how the Supreme Lord, who's all-powerful, engages his different energies and different expansions in maintaining and winding up the phenomenal world. So, he already knew some things about how the creation is created. It is not that he was unaware. So, but he wanted more understanding, deeper understanding of how things are working, how Krishna is so inconceivable. And what a kind of inquiry he's making, he's talking about deep things that are there to be understood. Like just few days back, I was at the exhibition and, there were a lot of stalls being kept in the exhibition. And there was one stall for tarot reader, astrology kind of, patte se astrology karte. So few girls came over there and they were inquiring about their future. And the tarot reader, put all the cards and said, pick up 3 cards. And she picked up 3 cards, and then, she said some mantra, and then, unfolded the cards. And then she said, you're suffering from your relationship in the past. You're still suffering from the bad relationship in the present. But something, you will be benefited by the good relationship in the future. And the girls were so excited. They were screaming, I love you for this. And I was thinking, I could have said this even before opening the card. Matra sparshastu kaunteya, sitosna sukha dukkada. Like, this is going to come. This dukh and happiness is going to come as what the seasons come and go. There was nothing so exciting about it. But I'm including myself, we become so vulnerable that we open our hearts to such astrologers. We open, jo bhi bol tu bol, main sincerely follow karunga. Astrologers, they will tell you, do this. And without a fail, we do everything. I wish we could have opened our hearts like this to our Guru and to our Acharyas. And we would have said, they are telling us, chant sincerely, chant attentively. But we don't understand that. We ignore those instructions. So this is not the kind of inquiries Parikhit Maharaj made. Parikhit Maharaj made inquiries which were beneficial not just to him, but to the entire world. Even after 5,000 years, we may get benefited. I'm talking we may, means I may get benefited. Y'all are going to get benefited, for sure. So these are the inquiries made by Parikhit Maharaj. And why such inquiries about the creation? Because actually everyone wants to know how creation is created. When I was very young, very small, maybe 7, 8 years old, in our area, electricity used to go out very often. And in the night, the stars were visible. And I used to sit and watch and see who made these stars, who made this moon, and what is beyond that. So that inquiry as a child also, every one of us have that. How is the creation made? And when I used to ask my mother, how is it created? She didn't have an answer. And she would say that this is very scary. Don't ask such questions. So this is something that everyone wants to know. So the benefit of everyone, Parikhit Maharaj is asking these questions. So Srila Prabhupada touch upon many items in the purport. We may not have time to go through each and everything. But 3 things we will go through is, first is Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, inconceivable form of the Lord. Second is, he is accessible only to his devotees. And the third point that we will touch base is, devotees are greater than the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he starts and quotes various shlokas. Actually, the shlokas are not there, but his purports are full of shlokas. He starts quoting from Brahma Samhita. And he says that though Lord is infallible, although Lord is one without a second, he is expanded by innumerable forms. So, Ramadi Murteshu Kala Niyame Tishtam Nanavatam Akarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Sambhavat Paramo Pumam Yo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So there are so many avatars of Lord Krishna, like Rama, Rasimha, Vamandev, but he's one. And another, Srila Prabhupada quotes another shloka from Brahma Samhita. As the lamp lights up the other lamps, and the potency and the quality of the other lamps is the same as the original lamps. Same is the potency and the qualities of his incarnations. Anyone knows that shloka? Which Brahma Samhita shloka that comes from? Dipayante vivrite hetu samana dharma yas tagra eva hi cha vishnu tyati vibhati govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. And then Srila Prabhupada quotes from Upanishad saying that when somebody comes out of Krishna, the whole form, from the absolute form, another form comes out, then that other form is complete and the original form is also complete. There is no subtraction happening over there. The closest crude example that we can think of is a mother giving birth to a child. Another form comes out of the mother, but that form that comes out is not complete. And when the form comes out, the mother is also not complete. There is something subtracted from her. But over here, from Krishna, the other forms have come out, but there is no subtraction happening. The spiritual maths is 1 minus 1 is equal to and 2. Because 1 minus 1, I mean, one form comes out from another form, and then there are 2. So 1 minus 1 is equal to 2. So that is actually spiritual maths. Very, very difficult to understand. And to complicate this further, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matsthani sarva bhutani nachaham teshva avastita. In my unmanifested form, I pervade the entire universe. Are Bapre. Krishna is present everywhere. So very inconceivable to imagine. Krishna is present everywhere. Matsthani sarva bhutani. I am present, everybody is present in me, but I am not present in them. It's very inconceivable to imagine such things, And then, to make it further complicated, Krishna says, Vishtabhyam idam Krishnam. Whatever I have pervaded is just a fragmental part. Ekam Shena is just one fragmental part of myself. And with that fragmental part, I am supporting this entire universe. Tito Jagat. I am supporting this entire universe. Very inconceivable. I mean, to understand such things only, it becomes so bewildering. It's okay. Let's chant. Aisa ho jata hai, kabhi kabhi. It's so deep. So it is very difficult to understand inconceivable nature of Lord. So all the devotees of the Lord also glorify Krishna as inconceivable. I cannot understand you. Like Gajendra, he said in his prayers, Na yasya deva rishaya padam vidur jantu punako ratigantumiritum yatha natasya kritabhir vichastato duratyayanu karmana samavatu. What he says is, Na yasya deva rishaya. Na demigods, nor demigods, na deva, na rishi. No one can, or the unintelligent men, they cannot understand you. Why they cannot understand you? Because you are an artist. Like an artist, does lot of makeup and comes to the stage and performs activities. Same way, you are the supreme artist. You come in such a makeup that no one can understand you. No one can see you what you are. So that's why they glorify him. Even Kunti Maharani, in her prayers, she glorifies Krishna as Adokchaja. So she says, Maya Javanika Chandam Agnya Adokshajam Avyayam Na Lakshya Muda Drishya Nato Natya Dharo Yatha. Why we are not able to see Krishna is because Kunti Maharani gives reasons. There is a Maya-like curtain in front of the unintelligent people's eyes. It covers them and they cannot see Krishna as he is. And she also uses an analogy, like the way the artists are performing on the stage and cover themselves, similarly Krishna also covers himself, and hence we are not able to realize the potency, inconceivable nature of the Lord. And to further complicate this, the inconceivable nature of the Lord is the holy name and Krishna are the same. What a bahut difficult. Holy name and Krishna are the same. Very inconceivable. Whenever I hear this, I keep thinking, how can holy name and Krishna be the same? They are different. I am different from my name. I always feel like that. But Krishna's holy name and Krishna's form are the same. In fact, Sachinandan Swami Maharaj says that if you cannot perceive the form of Krishna in chanting of the holy name, then Krishna will not manifest to you in any other form. Like he will not manifest to you even in the form of deities, which means that. So very, very difficult, inconceivable. So I was just contemplating how to understand this, and very crude example to understand it. Suppose I come to you and say, I come to extort money from you. Paisa de, 10 lakh rupiya de. And you will say, wo darwaza hai, nikal jao. Yeah, you will tell me, right? Then suppose I come with few men and I say, hey, मैं दाऊद का आदमी हूँ, पैसा दे. The moment I say Dawood ka admi hai, his potencies come along with his name. Arey Daud, what he has done bomb blast, he kills people, he does everything. And then immediately a different effect is on us. Arey Daud ka आदमी है, सिर्फ नाम काफी है, दाऊद का आदमी है, पैसे दे दो. So that is the potency, the negative potency comes along with the name of Daud. What about the eternal potency of Lord Krishna? When we say the name Krishna, his entire potency comes along with his name. His potency of being inconceivable, his potency of being all powerful, his potency of lifting over the hill, everything comes along with the name of Krishna. So very beautiful way to understand how the Lord's name is non-different from his potency. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this, Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. In the name, his entire potency is invested. So, this is very inconceivable. But now one may say that, yes, I understand he's inconceivable. But how do I understand Lord? And why did Parikhit Maharaj, knowing that he's inconceivable, ask Sukdev Goswami, please explain me the inconceivable forms of the Lord? So the answer is very clear. Srila Prabhupada writes, he did that because the Lord reveals himself only to the devotees. To learned scholars also he doesn't reveal. In Brahma Samhita, Srila Prabhupada quotes, Vede sudurlabha adurlabha atma bhakto govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. He does not reveal himself to each and everyone. He chooses not to reveal himself to each and everybody. But to his devotees, he reveals himself. And what to speak about Sukdev Goswami, in this verse we see, it is said that Sukdev Goswami is Nisnataha Parasmims. He is not only fully realized in Vedic scriptures, but as well as great, powerful and a pure devotee. This is the qualification of a person to whom Krishna reveals. That's why Parikhit Maharaj is making that inquiry. This qualification is very important to understand. Why to Sukdev Goswami? It is said in the scriptures that usually milk, when it is kept outside, right, it is bound to become curd. Whether today or tomorrow, it will become curd. But have you heard about Kshirodakshay, the milk ocean, where Kshirodakshay Vishnu is present? Does that milk ocean, does it become curd anytime? We have never heard. It's milk, but it never becomes curd. Similarly, because it does not undergo a vikar, but the great mind of great souls also is like that milk ocean. It never undergoes vikar. Like Sukdev Goswami does not undergo vikar. When he was born and when he came out of the womb, he was very young. And he was naked, and he saw young women and naked women having bath in the pond. But his mind did not undergo vikar. Similarly, Parikhit Maharaj, when he was cursed by Shringi, his mind did not undergo vikar. Why did he curse him? He did not undergo vikar of krodh and lobh and moh. So these are the great personalities, and that is why Krishna reveals himself to such great personalities. It is said that, a common man, ordinary person, when he takes an oath, मैं शपथ लेता हूँ, that oath, what he takes is like words written in water. What does it happen? The water, the very next second, it is gone to oblivion. But when great devotees speak, even jokingly, those are etched in the stone. Shila likhitam aksharam. It is said, Shila likhitam aksharam. Whatever great devotees speak, it's written in stone. So they both had, Sukdev Goswami and Parikhit Maharaj. And Kanai Thakur Prabhu gave a very beautiful class on ideal listeners and ideal speakers. And I was thinking after that I should not be sitting on Vyasasan at least to speak. But they had great absorption of Lord Krishna. And Krishna in Bhagavad Gita himself says that he has revealed this rahasyam, this secret knowledge to Arjuna. Why? Bhaktosmi sakhas cheti. Because you are my devotee and you are my friend. And though it is a very secret knowledge, Krishna says it is revealed to devotees, and Krishna makes that proclamation in Bhagavad Gita itself. Bhaktya mam abhijananti yavan yas chasmi tattvaha. The bhakta knows me and knows my tattva by their devotional service. So that is why Parikhit Maharaj knows all this, and that's why Parikhit Maharaj is making inquiry to a bhakta, to Sukdev Goswami. Now in the purport, Srila Prabhupada translates Bhagwan Yatha, because Sukdev Goswami is is a pure devotee. They understand the tattva, they are God-like. But Srila Prabhupada translates this in his purport as they are even greater than the God. And Srila Prabhupada quotes various examples, like Hanumanji. He could leap across the ocean and reach Lanka, but Lord Ramchandra needed a bridge. By the mercy of Lord Ram, Hanuman could achieve this, but Lord Ramchandra himself chose to build a bridge. So that makes the devotee even more powerful or greater than the Lord. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada quotes example of Durvasa Muni and his inability to protect Vishnu's inability to protect Durvasa Muni. When Durvasa Muni goes to Lord Vishnu for protection, Lord Vishnu quotes a very beautiful verse. And he says, Aham bhakta paradhino. Aham bhakta paradhino. Paradhino. I am dependent on my bhakta. He astva tantra. I am not independent, but control. He asva tantra. I am controlled by my devotees. Why am I controlled? Because my devotees are sadbuddhir, completely free from material desires. And grastra hridayo. My heart is controlled. Grasta, my heart is actually, hridaya, my hridaya is controlled by them. How is it controlled by them? It's just not I am controlled, but bhakter bhakte jana priya. I am dependent not only on my devotees, but also on my devotees' devotee. So here Lord Vishnu is saying that I am controlled completely by my devotees. I cannot move an inch without the permission of my devotees. And he beautifully explains how he is controlled by devotees in the next shloka. Very beautiful verse. Mai nirbadha hridaya sadhva samadarshana vase kurvanti mam bhaktya satstriya satpatim yatha. Mai nirbadha hridaya. I am firmly attached in the core of the heart of my devotees. And my devotees are sadbhava samadarshana. They are equal. They are equal to everyone. And how they control me? Satstriya satpatim yatha. Satstriya means how a gentle wife will control his husband. And we've seen examples in our scriptures how a gentle wife can control his husband, like Kashyapa Muni was controlled completely by her chaste wife Devati. So in Bhagavad Gita, on one hand in Bhagavad Gita, here Durvasa Muni was not, Lord Vishnu was not able to give protection to Durvasa Muni. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityaga, mam ekam sharanam vraja. I will give you protection. Don't worry, do not fear. In Ramayana also, in Yuddhakand, it is said that when Vibhishan came to the side of Lord Ram, he was asking for protection. And Lord Ramchandra said, whoever once says that, Lord, I am yours, I vow that I will give him protection. But here, Lord Vishnu is saying, I cannot give you protection. To Durvasa Muni, he's saying, I cannot give you protection. So very inconceivable, On one side, he's saying he'll give his protection. On the other side, he's saying, I cannot give you protection. So this is explained by Narsingh Dev to Prahlad Maharaj. He says that he's bound by the rope of love of his devotees. And though he is the most powerful, he has no power to break this bond. He becomes powerless over here. That is why Srila Prabhupada says that the devotees are even powerful than the Lord. Like Lord Krishna washes the feet of Sudama Vipra. Who washes the feet? A servant washes the feet. But Krishna chose to become a servant. And when he was eating the puffed rice, With one morsel of of rice, he was giving away everything that he had. So the devotee is so powerful that he controls everything that Krishna has. And Rukmani had to stop Krishna with the last morsel. Otherwise, everything would have been given to Sudama. So we can see this very beautifully in example of devotees, and specifically pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada actually, when Srila Prabhupada was building the Jew temple, after the Jew temple was built and everything was done, he actually confided to one of the devotees. He said, when we first purchased this land from Mr. Nair, I did not see how we could keep it. But he was a fraud from the beginning. He had sold this land many times to many people. So Srila Prabhupada knew that he cannot keep the land for himself. But he made, he did that ceremony where, Ananta Shesh is laid under the, what is that called? Brick foundation ceremony, something like that. And he built the temple and he installed the deities of Radha and Krishna. And he said, I told Krishna, sit tight over here, do not move. And because Krishna was asked by a pure devotee, and when actually the temple was, the police had come and the municipal corporation had come, they were about to come and destroy the whole temple. But because Krishna was told by Srila Prabhupada to sit tight, because Srila Prabhupada says that, I told Krishna to sit tight. Because Krishna was told by Srila Prabhupada to sit tight, Krishna sat tight. They could not destroy the temple. So this is the power of devotee, that Krishna himself makes his devotee more powerful than him. And yesterday, day before yesterday, Sarvabhaum Prabhu was saying that, when Srila Prabhupada went to US, Jagannath came along with him to the US. Actually, one may think that, we can carve out the deity of Jagannath and he will manifest in any place that he wants. No, it is not possible. And we have heard in so many times in different stories that when Rath Yatra is going, when Jagannath decides to stop, not move, no one in the world can move him. There were times when elephants were called to move the chariot, but he just decided to stop. I will not move. I will not go anywhere. Why? Because he wanted to give darshan to some devotees. So he did not move at all. So when Jagannath decides not to move, he will not manifest himself even in your house or even in US. But when he decides, when a pure devotee invites him, and Jagannath decides to go to US. So very beautiful that whatever Srila Prabhupada, actually when I read this, I was little confused. Why is Srila Prabhupada saying that devotees are powerful than the Lord? So why does the Lord come under the devotee's control? Because they are without any material desires. Anya bilasita sunyam. They have zero desires for themselves. They have only desires to please the Lord or to please the devotees of the Lord. When Parikhit Maharaj was given the boon, take liberation, Parikhit Maharaj said, I am happy staying in this material world. I want all of the other people to go back to the kingdom of God. So this is what a devotee feels. That is why he is very, very dear to Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Devotees are very dear. We see even the examples of gopis. When Krishna had a headache, they were ready to go for millions of lifetimes into hellish planets. But if the dust of the lotus feet can release the headache of Krishna, they were ready to do that. So Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, Chadiya Vaishnav Seva Nistara Payeche Keba. Without being a devotee of the devotee, one cannot be released from material entanglement. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu identified himself as Gopi Paradu Padakamalayor Das Das Anudas. He instructed his devotees to become the servants of the servants of the servants of the Lord Krishna, not to just become servant of the servants of the servants of the servants of Lord Krishna. So this is our mood, that we need to become servants of the servants of the servants of Lord Krishna. Following the same thing, actually Krishna, it is actually said that, when it is more valuable to follow the instructions of a devotee rather than follow the instructions of the Lord himself. And that Krishna proves it in Bhagavad Gita when he says, Kaunteya pratijanati name bhaktya pranashyati. Why does he tell Arjuna that you go and proclaim that my devotees will not perish? Because he knows that following the instructions of his devotees is more valuable than following his instructions. And when his devotee will proclaim, he will make sure he will protect what his devotees says. So it is very, very important. And another very deep and secret knowledge Prithu Maharaj has given us in Bhagavatam in the 4th canto. And he says, Ashnati ananta khalatatva ko vide shraddha hutam yan mukha ijjana bhavi navaya tatha chaitanya bhahiskrite hutasane param hamsya paragyo. What it says is, although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ananta, eats through the fire sacrifices offered in the names of different demigods, he does not take as much pleasure in eating through the fire as he does in accepting the offerings to the mouths of learned sages and devotees. For then he does not leave the association of devotees. So this is talking about Brahman Bhojan. So after reading this shloka, I was feeling so much inspired that I should honestly do Brahman Bhojan. Because I'm not just pleasing the devotees, I'm pleasing the Lord more. Like directly offering to the Lord, it is more valuable to offer food to Brahmans and devotees of the Lord. Because Krishna himself gets more pleased when he accepts the food which are offered to his devotees. And that we can see in the example of Advaita Acharya, feeding Haridas Thakur. When Advaita Acharya was performing Shraddh ceremony of his father, he first offered the plate of prasad to Haridas Thakur. And Haridas Thakur was telling him, why are you offering food to me? You are going against your Brahmanical principles. In the Shraddh ceremony, first, you should perform the sacrifices and then offer to the Brahmins. And Haridas Thakur came from a Mlecha family, from a Muslim family. And he was saying, why are you going against your Brahmanical principles? And Advaita Acharya said that by feeding you, I am feeding millions of pure Brahmanas. So it is more important to feed a Brahmana than feed, Krishna in one sense. So the Mayavadis want to become God, and Brahmavadis want to become one with, and Brahmavadis want to become one with God. What does devotee want to become? Devotee wants to become a servant of the devotee of the Lord. And that makes him even bigger than the Lord. So with that, I will end this session. So three things that we have covered. First is, the inconceivable nature of the Lord. Second is, Lord is revealed only to his devotees. And third is, God is greater than his devotees. Thank you. Sorry, devotees are greater than the Lord. Thank you. Thank you very much. Srila Bhagavatam ki, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.